applause for me.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here, and I'm quite happy because I feel like I'm home after a few years. I was in the family a few years ago, so I'm quite happy to be here. I will start with a game. If you're okay, let's start with a game. I will ask you to reply, to answer in a really sincere way. So, who here knows Launcher, Quanto, or Alan? Could you raise your hand? Okay. Oh, okay, that's massive. Quite everyone. And do you know what they have in common, if I ask you? What do you think they have in common? So, they are three well-known. They are VC-backed French scale-up companies, and they have really strong performance, right? Are we okay with that? And so now let's talk about another French scale-up. Here you have some stats of another French scale-up, and as you can see, there are also great numbers. So 100, like 30 million fundraising 2 years ago, and 250 employees in 4 offices worldwide. We have customers, 80,000 customers in 150 or 60 countries. So this company should be well known, right? And if I tell you that it's SendinBlue, could you now, tell me in a really sincere way, just be the most honest as you can, who here knows SendinBlue before joining or before we announce the rebranding? Could you raise your hand? Okay. So it's not even, I think, 10, 15%. And some of them are the team, so it doesn't count. It doesn't count. However, I'm sure that the people here who knew SendinBlue before, you knew SendinBlue because you were looking for an emailing solution. I'm quite sure, because when you are looking for an emailing solution, I'm sure that you come across our name and you find us really easy for 3 reasons. The first one, because we are really good in data acquisition. Like you can see, you tap emailing and you find first SendinBlue. Also, we are one of the most affordable. So if you were looking for an emailing platform, I'm sure we were in your benchmark. And the third reason is 50% of our acquisition came from word of mouth, because we have really great reviews. So why SendinBlue was not more well known until now? What was the reason? Why it was not the top of mind of the email marketing platform? Do you have an idea? I think we are here for that. Branding. Or maybe the lack of branding. Because until now, until 2 weeks ago, SendinBlue was that. And as you can see, we were talking in a really pragmatical and rational way to our customer. We were not talking to their heart, neither their soul. We were just talking about features, data, and pricing. That was SendinBlue. That was our key feature. And a lot of studies have shown that even in the B2B market, the emotional part is really important. Because today, the B2B buyers, they struggle to differentiate all the software and suppliers, and the trust, the reassurance, the confidence are really powerful and strong differentiator. And when you have to choose a tool, even if it's really rational, at the end, there is an emotional factors. Like, how does the tool make you feel when you use it, when you choose it? What's the benefit for you as a customer? Another thing, so we knew since many years that we needed a branding, but another thing came a few years ago. So our business activity is offering a service to the SMBs, a marketing digital service. And the SMBs have changed a lot. Their needs have changed a lot the last years. Why? Because many different channels arrived. They are more accessible now, and they need to be more digital and competitive than before. So as our customer needs evolved, of course, we need to evolve also. And from that, we knew that we needed to move from an emailing platform to an all-in-one solution, all-in-one marketing solution platform, which means that we were we needed to change our positioning. And for these two reasons, our branding had two missions. The first one, we needed to create an attachment with our customers. We need to decrease our churn and to make this emotional connection with them. And the second thing was we needed a brand which was more aligned with who we will be becoming. So the next question was, okay, we need a rebrand. How do we get there? The email marketing activity is a pretty busy market. And when you had more features, like we were adding the chat, Facebook ads, CRM, it became even more crowded. So how do we stand out from the crowd? Is there a strategy? How can we do that? And we were convinced since day one that we needed to make a connection with our customer. And for us, the only way to make a connection was to be our authentic self, to be true, to talk in a really sincere way with our customer. Easy. So how do we get there? How can we show who we are, and how can we express that? First thing for us, foundation. First, we have spent hours discussing with our CEO, asking him what's the purpose of SendinBlue, what is our mission, what's the vision, what are the foundation of SendinBlue, what's the force behind everything that we do until now. And for us, it was pretty strong because our CEO used to remind us pretty often that we start out as a small business with great ambition, with hunger to accomplish great things. And because of that, we were here to develop a tool that empowers other small business and helps them to achieve their own ambition. So this was the first brick. After that, okay, we have the purpose, the mission, the vision. We need to define which is our personality. What are the values of SendinBlue? And who are the best to define who we are, employees? What is the soul and what is the heart of a company, employees? And from that, we start to work with everyone in every team, spend hours discussing, launching surveys, spend hours in workshop, trying to define, discussing, arguing. Like, it was a pretty difficult process. It's like really defining who is the real SendinBlue. And at the end, we have write a manifesto with everything, the value, the mission, the purpose, the vision, and our values, our core values. And we were really aligned on 5 things, the 5 elements that make us really different on the market of the marketing solution. The first was the fact that our support is pretty strong. We are in 6 languages, 24 hours a day. That was the second team of SendinBlue after the second team after the tech. And for us, this attribute, when we were thinking about a personality trait, was okay. We have a strong support. We are caring and charming because we want to help everybody. So the brand value was caring and sharing. The second thing was the technical part. Of course, SendinBlue is a marketing platform. We have huge challenge about privacy and technique. So the technical part as a brand value means that we are reliable. For our customers, they can count on us, always. The third, and it's our mantra in SendinBlue, every time we develop a new feature, the first thing that we think is, how can we make it easy to use? How can we make this tool easy to use for everybody? And when we think about a brand value for that, it means that we are accessible. Wherever you are, you can use SendinBlue. And that related to the other key element, modularity. Even if you are a beginner, you can use SendinBlue. And when you grow, we grow with you. And you can build, like, if your business grow, you can build the marketing engine you need and become a really advanced marketer. This is our modularity. We help you to build with the tool we have on the platform. And as a brand value, modularity, we wanted to show that in a playful way because we are, as I said before, accessible. And the last, but not least, we are affordable. Whatever happens to SendinBlue, we will always be affordable because we want every SMBs to be able to pay for this service. And which means in a brand value that we will stay humble and keep in mind our missions, which was helping the goal of our customer. So after that, we have defined the brand values, the trait of personality of SendinBlue. We are caring, charming, reliable, accessible, playful, and humble. So this was the foundation of the branding process. First, we know well who we are. Second, we know well who are the customers. We are a really data-driven company, so we know pretty well our customers, but in a data way. We know we have acquisition source, the kind of usage of the product. We have many data, but who are the human behind? What their position? Who are they? Like what's the human part in that, in the dimension, the human part of our customers. And so we spend hours, like we have selected 100 representative customers with different size, different kind of business, different digital maturity. And we have spent hours with them, discussing, interviewing, and trying to understand who they are and what's their position, what's the company. And the second part of this work, interview of our customer, is really important, is understand what's their usage of SendinBlue. But I don't mean in a functional way. I mean in an emotional way. If I have to be more clear, what's the emotion when they use SendinBlue? What's their goal? How do we help them to achieve their goal? What they are looking for? And I think the best way to explain that is to show you our first persona, the first persona of SendinBlue. We call him Valerie. Valerie is a very small business. Valerie is a solo founder, traditional business, and is alone, or maybe with 1 or 2 employees, which means he will do everything by himself. He's not a marketer, but he has to do marketing. He doesn't have a lot of time, but he still has to do marketing. And as he's not really digital, he feels really vulnerable when we talk about some law, privacy law, GDPR, and everything. What were his objectives? What are the objectives? First, of course, it's a small business. Maximize your gains and your margin. Second, it's related. Be where your customers are. Most of their business, we discovered that they were traditional business trying to be digitalized. So it means that they discovered they needed to be digital, more digital, and also reduce their print cost. And third, growing your community. You have customers, okay, but how do you grow your community? How do you keep your customer? How do you make retention? And thanks to that, we did all that thanks to a methodology that is called the Job to be Done methodology. It's a qualitative research, and it helps us to really, with a series of questions, define what was the social and emotional part, the part of the buying process. So from that, for us, we gathered a lot of information. First, who are the customers? Their position, their role, is there a co-founder or maybe a marketer, maybe a startup, and what's their usage, what they're looking for, what's their goal, what they're trying to do thanks to SendinBlue, and do we help them? How do we help them? So after all this information, we have created a Canva, and we have mapped all the features, all the service that we are providing. And for each feature service, we were thinking like, okay, for that, we provide this solution. We won't talk we are not talking anymore in a product way. We will talk in a solution way. So what is the solution? What do we resolve thanks to this feature? What's the solution? And so we have mapped each solution for each customer. And thanks to that, we were able to know how to talk with every customer and find the good message that resonates with them in the best way. So I give you an example because I think it's always more concrete. This is our feature page, the email marketing feature page, which is our core feature. So it's really important for us. This is the whole SendinBlue. And as you can see, we talk in a really pragmatical way. We are technical, we are cold, we are product-centered. We are talking to your mind. This is the new SendinBlue. And can you read the tagline? It's completely different. We are talking in a customer benefit. We match the customer benefit with our value proposition. So when we use the sentence, promote your brand, grow your business, or make beautiful design emails, it was because our customer told that when we were discussing and interviewing. They were looking for that. That were their objective. And our design was there to express who we were. So the design is modular, playful, and way more accessible than before. And thanks to all this work, it take many months, we have synthesized everything in a document, the agency brief, which was explaining who was SendinBlue and who we wanted to become and how we wanted to be seen. And thanks to that, we had also a clear idea of the kind of design agencies that we wanted and the kind of design that we were looking for. And for them, the document was really helpful because it helped them to know exactly what's the goal. And for us, it was a good way to be sure all along the process that we were going in the right direction, that we were still aligned. So thanks to that, creativity flows. We had some concept and mood boards, and every time we have made shows with all the information we have kept in mind. And this is the result. So at the end, we had a new logo, new website, new identity, new graphic, new everything, new tagline, new messaging, new positioning. And we were all aligned, all the company aligned with that because we were sure of the direction of the information that we had in mind. The other really important thing that we did during all the process was to invite on board all the employees because they are every day in contact with the customers. They know the product, they know everything. So every time we were looking for the feedback of our team, every team. We were making survey, asking them their feedback about some new logos that we had. And for example, at the beginning, we made the votes for the logo, and it was a total fail. No one was aligned. It was a total fail. So, okay, let's start again. We'll be late. Doesn't matter. We need to be sure of our logo. And thanks to all the feedback, the people were really involved in the branding process. And it will help us now, because we have finished this process. This is how we did it. It will help us now to continue and to start a new process to make the brand alive, to make the brand live. So our future step will be work together on the tone of voice, continue improving our brand identity, be sure that we still go in the right direction. So if I have three key elements that I keep in mind for our rebranding process, first, know who we are. Be sure that we are really authentic. The second was the job to be done methodology, which helped us a lot. And so know your customer in the human way, the emotional dimension of your buyers, of the buying process. And the last one, choose an agency. It's a match. So choose the agency that match with your ambition, with the things that you want to become, the personality you want to have. And that's all. So we were selling a product. We were a product-centered company, feature-centered company. And now we are providing a solution.
Who has a question? Okay. So this is a microphone, and you can throw it to other people. Feel free. It's super soft. And you have to speak in the black thing, okay? So don't take it and put it here, okay? So you start there. You catch.
Okay. Good solution. Thanks a lot for the talk. My first question was, how long was, because it seems to be a very long process, so how long did it take you?
It was a quite long process. It was we started in October, I think, and it was not a straight process. So we have failed sometimes, but it was important to fail at some moment, because it was the moment where we were not all aligned, when it was not a consensus. So from October till now, it's like 9 months. It seems really long, but it was also the time for the team to jump on the branding process, to convince the most rational employees, and to take everyone on board. So 9 months, quite.
Thank you very much for your talk. Which agency have you chosen, and how?
How did we choose?
Yes.
Yeah. So we have started with the first agency. To be honest, we were not clearly aligned, and the first part when I talk about who we are was not clear enough to work with an agency. It was too soon. So it was not the good moment, and it was not the good agency for us. And from that, we have taken the time to work on who we are, the job to be done methodology, everything. And at the end of the process, we were sure that we wanted this agency. We have met them at the beginning when we were looking for an agency, and we haven't chosen them for many reasons, mostly because they were not doing the branding part. They are a design agency, and we needed this branding part, the first part. And so we have chosen agency, and my team is here. We work all with them, and we seriously love them so much. I think that we have all worked with our heart, because it's a really passionate work, and it's really complicated also because it's not rational. And so you need to really feel at ease with your agency. So for us, it's agency. We recommend them, of course, because they are the best. For us, they are the best. So.
I do work for SendinBlue, and I can testify that all that work that went through, get to know involved employees, get to know the product, and all the hiring. So we matched so well with agency, the way that we work. It was like a match in heaven. So it's very important, that part. Yeah. It really helps with the alignment between the company.
We work with, we feel that they are a part of SendinBlue.
Hello. What made you decide it was the right time to rebrand?
I think first, personality. Clearly, we were 3 in the process to choose the agency. We were all aligned because, as I said, and we have a really strong culture internally, and we are all really aligned on the fact that we don't want an ego agency. We are not an ego company. We are humble, as we say. It's really important for us. So we were looking for an agency, humble agency with good values, human values, and it was a perfect match. And the design also, the design part, of course, it was the first criteria. The design part was the first criteria. We first choose what kind of design we are looking for, and after that, what kind of personality of people are we choosing?
My question was, what was internally in your company the moment you decide to rebrand the company?
To rebrand.
Yeah, yes.
It was for 2 reasons. The first one was because we were not well known enough, clearly, and we have a great ambition, so we need to be more known. And the second one was, as I said, the positioning. We needed a new brand to be aligned with the new positioning. Because the email market is crowded market. But the all-in-one market is we had as feature, we had the chat. So as a competitor, you have Intercom. We had the CRM. So as a new competitor, we have HubSpot. So we, since the moment we have a new positioning, it means we enter in a bigger field, crowded market.
Hello, thank you for your talk. What was the job in everything you've presented? What was done by SendinBlue and what was done by the agency?
The first part was SendinBlue. Like, we were helped thanks to a consultant, a grant consultant. She helped us a lot for the workshop, the survey, and everything. So she was there. But it was our part. To know who you are, it's the part of your companies. And the second part, it's a collaboration. You know who you are, who you want to be, and they are trying to identify what the personality fits the best with your goal.
Thank you very much. What kind of KPIs do you track to make sure that the branding is actually serving the business? And in the future roadmap, is there a tipping point in which you say, okay, the rebranding worked, or we need to change things? Because you said you need to change, to improve the tone of voice in the future.
Yeah, so the KPI is quite difficult in branding. That's the thing. We have a branding KPI, but it's mostly related to the SEA. So I say the first KPI, it's not a KPI, but just the feedback of our customers. We had 100 of feedback the first day, 100 of congratulations. So our first KPI was that. But in the long term, this is just the first step. So we will have campaigns like online, but also offline, and we will track that. We will make some surveys because it's really difficult to determine what is the branding part in the buying process. You don't have a strong KPI. So we will use different strategy for tracking the campaigns and also making some surveys and see what the part, word of mouth part, like, is it increasing or not? Do you have something more to say, Maud, about that? Because she's the CMO, so maybe she knows better about that than me.
Hello. So it's a good question. KPI is not easy for branding, that's for sure. So let's say there's two things that can help measuring. First thing first, with this new branding, what we have done is a completely new website. So it's not only redesign and repositioning with proper proposition value, it's also a whole new website that we have been doing through WordPress. So we are able to be completely autonomous within the marketing team to do stuff through the website, because through the website we accumulate account creations. So first thing that we will measure, it's the conversion rate into account creations through the website. So it's not only branding, it's branding and value proposition, with a lot of product marketing work that have been done. Secondly, regarding pure branding, so we have finished the first part, which is creating the brand. Our objective was, actually our objectives are two. First is awareness, and second is engagement. So we want first people to get to know us better. That being said, word of mouth is the biggest channel of acquisition for SendinBlue. So we are already known by our clients that are happy and try to share their experience with their surroundings. But we want people to engage more. So the word of mouth will be like boosted more. And the best way to measure that is to use direct sources. And as Candice said, branding, like brand keywords as being searched. So we can do that in two ways. SEA, so we are bringing on our brand, We have to do that today. Thanks, Google. He's the big winner. And organically, seeing the volume of search on our brand. So when you merge those three sources, you get to know the traffic to your brand, like thanks to your brand. And the difficulty part will be to be able to measure what's incremental based on the seasonality. So this is a new era. And what we'll be doing for the diffusion is to do some offline and online action. So this is step 2. And there's plenty of tools that allow us to measure these kind of actions.
So thank you very much for your presentation. That was really clear. I just wanted to know, I assume you probably have designers in your team.
Yeah.
And I wanted,
She's there.
but I mean
One of them.
internally. Internally at...
She's one of them.
Okay. And my question
we
was...
have 4 designers.
Okay.
Inside.
My question was, what are the main reasons you prefer to outsource to a design agency instead of doing it all internally?
First, I think they are so busy every day that it's a huge work. We have worked for the last months to be sure that everything is totally rebrand. So Carly was working on that. It's massive. So first, it was because we didn't have enough resources internally. And secondly, it was because we were also looking for a fresh brain, someone who didn't know SendinBlue, someone who discovered SendinBlue and will give us some fresh air. Because it's a really difficult process when you are, sometimes it's not clear where you have to go. So someone outside can help you to see, no, this is not the, I think you are looking for that kind. And it happens a lot. It happens a lot.
Que la famille.